Have you ever had that feeling that a woman might like you, but you're not sure if it's real or all in your head? She looks at you a certain way, laughs a little harder at your jokes, or finds random reasons to talk to you, but she never says anything directly. That's because female attraction is often quiet, subtle, and coded. Women rarely walk up and say, "Hey, I secretly desire you." But psychology shows there are patterns, 5 powerful signs, that reveal what she won't say out loud. Female attraction psychology isn't magic, it's behavior. When a woman is drawn to you, her body language shifts, her attention changes, her emotions react differently around you than with other people. The problem is most men either ignore these signs or completely misread them, thinking a friendly gesture means she wants them, or missing clear attraction because they assume they don't have a chance. But once you understand these 5 signals, you'll stop guessing and finally see what's really going on. Before we break them down, ask yourself, have you ever looked back on a situation and realized way too late that she was actually into you? Maybe a coworker, a friend, someone at the gym or in class. Drop your story in the comments, especially if you only connected the dots after it was over. You're watching Seductive Wisdom, and today we're diving into 5 psychology-backed signs that a woman secretly desires you, even if she's trying very hard not to show it. Her eyes give in. Long before a woman ever admits she desires you, her eyes will usually betray her. Attraction has a way of slipping through the cracks of self-control, and the first place it leaks is in her gaze. She might try to act cool, keep the conversation casual, or pretend you're just another guy, but psychology shows that when a woman is secretly drawn to someone, she looks at him differently. Her eyes linger, soften, light up, or keep coming back to you, even when she's trying not to make it obvious. Watch what happens in those unplanned moments you say something, and her eyes lock onto yours just a beat longer than needed. You catch her looking at you from across the room and she quickly looks away, then checks back again to see if you noticed. When someone else is talking, she might still glance at you to see your reaction. That's not random, that's selective attention. Our brains naturally focus on what we're drawn to, and her eyes are simply following her interest, even if her mouth says nothing. You'll also notice how her eyes react emotionally. When you enter a room, do her eyes subtly brighten or sharpen with awareness? When you joke, do her eyes smile before her lips do? Does she track you when you move, like her focus keeps being pulled back in your direction? She might look at your face longer than normal, scan your features, or even drop her gaze briefly to your lips before snapping back up. These are micro signals of attraction her conscious mind may not even realize she's broadcasting. The key isn't to obsess over every glance like a detective, but to notice patterns one look means nothing. Repeated, warm, or lingering eye contact, especially paired with a quick look away, a shy smile, or her body turning slightly toward you, that's different. That's her desire slipping through, even if she's trying to stay composed. As a man, your job isn't to stare her down or get weird about it, but to calmly meet her gaze when it happens. Hold it for a second with relaxed confidence, then continue the interaction. Her eyes are often the first part of her to confess what her words are still trying to hide. She seeks your presence. One of the strongest signs a woman secretly desires you is how often she quietly orbits around your presence. She may not confess feelings, she may not flirt aggressively, but she finds ways to be near you. Maybe she just happens to be in the same place more often, sits where you can see each other, or joins conversations you're in even if she doesn't add much. Psychology calls this proximity seeking. We naturally move closer to the people we're attracted to, even when we pretend it's coincidence. Pay attention to patterns, not one-off moments. Does she show up to group hangouts and somehow ends up next to you more often than not? At work or school, does she time her breaks, walks, or coffee runs in a way that overlaps with yours? Online, does she appear in your DMs or replies with random comments that don't really need a response but keep the connection open? These little moves are rarely formal or announced. They're soft signals. I like being around you. Do you notice? You'll also notice how she reacts when you leave or enter a space. When you arrive, does she straighten up, adjust her hair, or suddenly become more engaged in whatever she's doing? When you leave, does her energy dip a bit, or does she suddenly become quieter or more distracted? A woman who secretly desires you is highly attuned to your presence and your absence. She may not chase you physically, but she's tracking the emotional impact of you being there or not. That's attraction operating beneath the surface. The key difference between friendliness and desire lies in who she chooses repeatedly. Lots of people enjoy company, but if she consistently chooses your company over others, sits by you when she has options, walks with you when she doesn't have to, stays a bit longer in conversation with you than with everyone else, that's not random social behavior. That's intentional comfort. As a man, don't overthink one interaction, but don't ignore a pattern of proximity either. If she keeps placing herself where you are, there's a good chance her feelings are already ahead of what she's willing to admit out loud. Playful but nervous. When a woman secretly desires you, her behavior often lands in that confusing mix of playful and nervous. She jokes with you, teases you, and acts light-hearted. But underneath, you can feel a slight tension, like she cares a little more about how she comes across to you than to anyone else. Psychology calls this arousal plus anxiety. Attraction creates excitement, but it also creates self-consciousness, so she might be bold one second and shy the next, switching between flirty and awkward in a way that doesn't quite match how she treats other people. Pay attention to how she teases you. Does she give you nicknames, playfully mock small things you do, or challenge you in a fun way? Then quickly glance at your reaction to make sure she didn't overstep. That's not random. It's a way of creating tension while still having the safety of humor. If you respond well, she relaxes and leans into the banter. If you shut down, she'll likely pull back. That poke and check pattern is a subtle test. Can he handle my energy? Can we play like this? Underneath the jokes is curiosity, and usually attraction. The nervous part shows up in her body and voice. She might laugh a little too hard at your jokes, talk a bit faster around you than others, or over-explain simple things. She fidgets with her hair, her phone, her jewelry. Maybe she says something playful and then immediately follows it with, "I'm just kidding." Even when it was clearly harmless, that's her trying not to mess it up. She wants to be seen as fun and attractive, but she's also scared of going too far. So you get these little glitches of nervousness in between moments of confidence. The difference between friendly playfulness and playful but nervous attraction is simple. Stakes. With a guy she doesn't care about, she can joke freely, no overthinking, no micro-anxiety. With a man she secretly desires, the tension is higher. She cares what you think. She wants you to like her back. As a man, your role is to stay calm and grounded through it. Enjoy the banter, don't overreact, and don't mock her nervousness. The more relaxed and steady you are, the safer she feels being playful, and the more clearly her desire will show itself over time. Jealous over little things. One of the clearest psychological signs that a woman secretly desires you is how she reacts when your attention goes elsewhere. She may not say, "I like you and I don't want other women near you," but her emotions will leak out in small ways. Maybe she gets a bit quieter when you mention another woman. Maybe she suddenly changes the topic, rolls her eyes, or makes a light joke that doesn't fully hide the sting. It's not full-blown drama. It's subtle, controlled jealousy over things that wouldn't matter if she truly felt nothing. Watch how her energy shifts in real time. You're talking, she's engaged, laughing, relaxed. Then you bring up a female coworker, a girl who texted you, or someone who complimented you. Does her body language close a bit? Does her tone change? More sarcastic, colder, or extra unbothered? Women often try to mask jealousy with indifference or humor, but psychology is clear. When we don't care, we don't react. Those little spikes in defensiveness, dismissiveness, or random mood dips are her emotions exposing what her words won't. You might also see competitive behavior kick in. She might suddenly highlight her own qualities, achievements, or connection to you when another woman is mentioned. Or she'll subtly put distance between you and that other girl through comments like, "She doesn't seem your type. She's kind of extra, don't you think?" Or, "Good luck with that." On the surface, it's joking underneath. It's emotional territory marking. She sees you as someone whose attention matters, and other women start to feel like quiet threats. As a man, you shouldn't weaponize this or try to provoke jealousy on purpose. That's immature and insecure, but you can register it as a data point. A woman who is low-key jealous over little things is emotionally invested. If this jealousy shows up alongside other signs, eye contact, present-seeking, nervous playfulness, when you're not imagining it, she cares. The key is to stay calm, respectful, and not rub it in. Her jealousy is not your toy. It's just another clue that her desire is deeper than she's comfortable admitting out loud. She invests emotionally. The most powerful sign a woman secretly desires you isn't just in her eyes, body language, or teasing. It's in how much of her emotional world she starts giving you. When she desires you, she doesn't just treat you like a random friend or casual acquaintance. She shares her thoughts, her worries, her dreams, her frustrations. She asks for your opinion on things that matter to her. She cares what you think of her choices. Psychology calls this emotional investment, and people don't invest where they see zero value. Notice how much effort she puts into the connection. Does she remember small things you said, bring them up later, or follow up on them? Does she check on you when something's off? Notice your mood shifts, or ask how you're really doing, not just wide-level small talk. When a woman desires you, she pays attention to your inner world, not just your outer appearance. She wants to know what's under the surface because deep down she's imagining what it would feel like to be close to you, not just around you. You'll also see emotional investment in how much she lets you affect her. Your compliments hit deeper. Your criticism stings more. Your silence feels louder. If she truly didn't care, your words, presence, or absence wouldn't move her emotionally at all. But if she gets a little hurt when you're distant, strangely annoyed when you ignore her message, or unexpectedly happy when you validate her, that's not neutral. That's her heart reacting, even if her mouth is still playing it cool. As a man, don't confuse emotional investment with her being dramatic. A woman who doesn't desire you won't bother investing at this level. She'll keep things light, distant, and controlled. If she's opening up, asking real questions, remembering details, caring how you see her, and letting you impact her emotions, that's not accidental. That's interest with roots. The question then becomes, do you respect that investment, reciprocate it, and handle it with maturity? Or do you ignore it and pretend she's just nice? Her emotions are showing you what her pride might never say. She wants you closer than she's willing to admit. Attraction isn't always loud, obvious, or dramatic. Most of the time, it hides beneath small behaviors. The way she looks at you, the way she shows up around you, the way she gets nervous, jealous, or emotionally invested without ever saying the words out loud. When you learn to read these signs, you stop living in confusion and start seeing reality for what it is. Desire often whispers before it speaks. And if you noticed some of these patterns in a woman around you, don't ignore them. They're telling you more than her words ever will. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 signs have you experienced the most? Lingering eye contact, proximity, nervousness, jealousy, or emotional investment? Drop your answer in the comments, and if you've got a story where you realized too late that a woman secretly desired you, share it. Your experience could be the exact thing another man needs to hear today. Before you go, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Seductive Wisdom, and share this breakdown with a friend who needs help understanding female attraction. And if you watched until the very end, type Seductive Wisdom in the comments so I know you're part of the ones who pay attention, not just to what women say, but to what they feel.